Hey, what's up, guys? Here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we got is hot. I'm your host, Zack Jackson. Let's get right to the show I have for you guys today. Here on Recap Monday for Season 7, Episode number 19, here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we got is hot. I hope you guys are having a great Monday and afternoon, now evening. Um, Man, what a weekend we had in the sports world. We had the Final Four, we had the NBA, we had the NHL. It was just a great weekend in sports. But the big picture is obviously we all know the national championship is upon us tonight between Houston and Florida. Did not expect Houston to be there, even though I kind of figured that they had a shot. I still thought Duke could pull it out, but I told you guys from the beginning that Duke was going to have a problem because of their youth, and you guys were clowning me. And that's kind of what happened. But we're just going to share our screen here so you guys can see just where the bracket has ended up so far. So I'm going to flip my screen so you guys can take a look. Um, but this is where the bracket has ended up for us, me and Irv. Obviously, we know tonight, Florida versus Houston. It's going to be one hell of a matchup. You got now arguably the best offense in the game in Florida versus the best defense in the game in Houston. And it's going to be a juggernaut of a game. The Houston Duke game was weird, man. Like I said, they were up big. Duke looked like they were going to win this game. With only a minute left, they were up by 6. With 30 seconds left, they're up by 6. But as we know, Houston belt down on defense, and they were able to get the stops that they needed. Duke just went cold, and they scored 3 points in the final minute of the game. It was pretty bad to Houston's 15. It was really bad. And I just think that Houston definitely has a shot at beating Florida tonight. But it all lies on stopping Florida's number one guy. If you can't stop him, it is game over for Houston. They're gonna do what they're supposed to do. They're gonna switch on ball screens. They're gonna do what they gotta do. And if they can get that done, they have a good shot at winning. The only way Houston doesn't wins this game is Florida's guy. The man has been going crazy. People have been comparing him to Steph Curry. I'm not going to go on the limb here and go there. But man, he has been making some unbelievable shots behind the arc, in the paint. Again, we have a 167 for our points total. I don't think it's going to get up to there right at this point with these two teams in, because you don't have the two best offenses in the game in Duke and Florida in it. But definitely, we're going to see some fireworks coming out of this national championship game tonight between Florida and Houston. So, yeah, again, just to recap what happened against Duke and Houston. Duke and Houston was interesting. And I told you guys it was going to play a part, which was their youth. And their youth definitely played a part in their collapse in the last couple minutes of that game. They had it. You have a 14-point lead with less than 5 minutes to go. There's no way you can give that up. Absolutely none. And they gave it up. And it really just comes to youth. You got a young first year head coach for Duke. You got a young superstar on Cooper Flag. Everybody there is all youth. There's barely any second year guys there who are stars on the team. So again, in big moments like that, you saw Cooper Flag had a chance at the end to get the job done, and he missed the shot. Just Houston was able just to get the job done in general, and that really propelled them to get what they were supposed to. If you guys But just to resume that we were having here before, I even forgot what the hell I was saying. Thanks to my mother. Cash, appreciate the follow. But yeah, guys, it's going to be one hell of a national championship tonight. I think Florida still gets the job done, but Houston's got to stop. They got to go over ball screens. They got to close out. If they don't get that done, They might get blown out. Just to put it like that, they might get killed. Florida has that opportunity to be able to go on streaks and get that job done. Giants, Padres, and Dodgers money line. I haven't even looked at those games. I only do the Mets and the Yankees because the fact of the matter is it's just too many MLB games to be betting on. No. As I understand that. But if Houston cannot stop Florida's guy, and I'm drawing a blank here on his name. That's why I don't want to fumble it. If they can't stop him, he drops 36, they're going to win by more than 10 points. Just putting that there. Clayton, thank you. If they can't stop Clayton, I think, to me, the game's over. I think if you give up over 25 to Clayton and you can't make anybody else do anything on the basketball court, and it's just him, because remember, granted, you might say, all right, well, if Florida's able to stop him or you get it out, he's an off-ball guy. He doesn't have to have the ball the entire time. He could shoot off the dribble. He could shoot off the catch. That's what's great about Clayton. And it really is showing in the tournament. And that's where I think he can exploit Houston. If Houston is able to do that, they will have a shot in this game. I think Tennessee is a good comp. I just think Houston was way better. Okay. Fair enough there. I could definitely think. What's up, Sports Talk with Aiden? How you doing, brother? If you guys are new to the live, don't forget to drop a follow, a like, and a share. I appreciate all the support out there. But yeah, the national championship is going to be crazy tonight. I don't think we're going to hit that 167 mark. I wish we did, but I don't think we are. Just based off on Houston being in there. If it was Duke, different story. But we are now going to transition, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to go into something that if you guys were over the weekend looking at the picks that I was doing for the NBA, if you were specifically looking at yesterday, we had the Lakers versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. And that had to be one of the biggest upsets of the year, having the Lakers absolutely trample the Oklahoma City Thunder in OKC. And I know people are going to say, oh, well, they probably just stopped playing, whatever the case is, blah, 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 blah. The fact of the matter is, it was at OKC. They played everybody. Shea wasn't getting the bullshit foul calls. Granted, I don't think the narrative of saying he's a free throw magnet is really, you're really able to say that. I think he's a great player. He does get some questionable calls in his favor, but we said that about James Harden. We could say that about a lot of guys in the league right now. So I don't think we could put that on him right about now. Jalen Duren over 9.5 points, and Domantas Sabonis is over 14.5. I could say that. I could go with that. Sabonis, definitely I could go with that. I agree with that. So, and in the grand scheme of things, this Lakers win. What are we saying? DeMar 4 rebounds? Are you saying DeMar is going to have 4 rebounds tonight? You gotta give me more context. But yeah, the Lakers blowout really opened a lot of people's eyes. I don't think we can get like overly crazy, because it's just one game. Yeah, if DeMar is projected, I would say DeMar can get over 4 rebounds without a doubt. But I think Luka and the Lakers and LeBron really made a statement last night. Be able to go into OKC to get the job done the way they were able to get the job done, I think just shows to the credibility of being a championship game and a championship team. And I think that really is going to play a big part and a big role in how the Lakers can be advanced into the playoffs. I think Luka is definitely that guy, and it's just much easier to have a guy like Luka to help out LeBron so he doesn't have to do everything. Like last year, if you saw them in the playoffs, even though Anthony Davis was doing his thing, you still needed LeBron to do everything. Motivate the offense, move the offense, pass the ball, shoot the ball, make the big-time shots. And that's where I think now he doesn't have to do that. He's getting the most wide-open catch threes he's ever had in his career. It's pretty ridiculous on how wide open LeBron James sometimes is. And that's a testament to Luka's greatness. So you just really got to give him the credit as well as everybody else. But we shot probably one of the best 3-point games I've seen us play in a long, long time. On top of that, we also play one of the best defensive games against a top team like OKC I've seen all year. Nico, yes, I did see the Yankee game. It was a pretty embarrassing performance by Carlos Rodon and everybody else. So hopefully we can come back the next game and play a little bit better. But yeah, that was a pretty embarrassing performance against the Tigers. But the Tigers are no sleep. Again, they're not like a crazy good team, but they're not like they were a couple years back, like the shit show of the league. That could be resigned for the Oakland Athletics, but not Detroit anymore. They made the playoffs last year, so they're definitely not a bad team. But still, it's just an embarrassing loss. But back to the Lakers, I think this game really puts into question on, is OKC really as good as everyone thinks they are? Again, they're young. They got bounced in the playoff last year by Luka and the Mavs. Luka owns OKC. He loves playing against OKC. And Lou Dort, Defensive Player of the Year candidate, this guy, whatever the case is, shut down anybody he plays against. Well, he could not do anything against Luka. Luka was torching him last night. He was torching the entire team. It went a stat line of having Luka with 30, Austin Reeves with 20, LeBron with 19, and everyone else down the line. So I definitely think the Lakers should be focused and put into that discussion of getting to the NBA Finals, at least getting to the Western Conference Finals. Because if they're going to see OKC, I'm sorry, I'm going to go with Shannon right here, Lakers in 5. Just kidding. It's not going to happen. Lakers are not winning in 5. But I could definitely see Lakers could win this series because of the fact of the matter is again, regular season, if they didn't play all their guys, I wouldn't be saying that. But the fact that they played everybody, we're on their home turf, and we're able to get the job done. I just want to see us how we play next week. Tomorrow against them, and see how we play back to back. I hate to say it, but everyone on Florida, Houston money line. All right. Thoughts on Rockets? Rockets, interesting, man. I think they're going to kind of very similar to OKC from last year. They're going to get one of the top seeds in the West. They're going to get past the first round, and I think they lose in the second round because of their youth. There's only been one or two guys that has been in the second round or farther. That's Van Fleet, and I believe that's Dylan Brooks. Everybody else has not been that far past the first round. So I really would say that the Rockets are a very up-and-coming team. I think that they run it back next year. I think they have a much better season than even this year. I think they get to 60 wins on the season next year. That's how good I think they could be. I don't think they need a Kevin Durant. There's been rumors about him trying to go to Houston. I think that's going to tear up the youth and the group that Houston has. And I really think that's going to really derail your chances at winning something if you bring that guy in, even though you might think it might be cool to have Kevin Durant on the team. It's not the best when you have that young core, everyone's put together, and then you get that number one guy in Kevin Durant on the team. And that's going to be just hard to be able to go back and forth with it. So I definitely think that it's going to be tough. And without just the experience, I think the Rockets fall in the second round this year. I just think that their experience is not gonna help them. Very similar to Duke, as we saw against Houston. Houston has experience. They have multiple guys that have been in this position, multiple Final Fours. You know what's at stake. When you're down, you know that if you have that type of team like Houston did, you're never out of it until the buzzer sounds. And that's how it was. Duke thought that they had it. They were going to stay with it. And what happened was exactly what I said. Duke was going to fold. I thought they were going to fold in the national championship. Not that game, but I did tell you, I warned you guys. You guys thought I was crazy. I said Duke will fold in the championship game because of their youth, because the fact of the matter is they're too young and they haven't been there before. And lo and behold, that's what happened. And they also couldn't hit a damn shot. And again, nerves, the pressure being on it. Cooper Flagg had a hell of a game, but very similar to the NBA with the Rockets, young team. They need another year. I think they are still a year ahead of schedule. Next year, it's going to be their great year. And they're really going to take it off to another level. Maybe not as good as OKC with how many wins they got, but at least around there. They could probably have the same record as this year, what they end with, or maybe a little bit better. But back to the Lakers, the last thing I'll say about this, guys, we really got to consider that the Lakers are a championship contender. I don't care what you guys say. You got a prolific, probably one of the best players in the game in Luka on the team. LeBron's still a top 10 player in the league at age 40, and Austin Reeves probably the best third option in the NBA right now. I'd probably say for the entire season, but in the last 16 games, he's averaging over 28 points a game. So, and he's shooting a crazy percentage from the free throw line and from three. So I definitely think you got to put that in that conversation. So we have the team. The only thing that scares us is the size. Block 23, whatever how you say it. Sorry if I messed up your username. Clippers are not winning the finals. Sorry, they're not. Not even close. But when it comes to understanding, obviously we know the size is a problem with the Lakers, but they had size. They had Hartenstein, they had Chet Holmgren, they got massive dudes in OKC. Wasn't a problem. Then again, we shot probably the best game we've ever shot this season from three. I think we made 22 three-pointers. It was absolutely tied a franchise record. Ridiculous. We're not going to shoot that consistently. But the problem is Doncic to the Lakers is a distraction, buddy. Okay. I can't talk with somebody that is not actually watching basketball, but it's okay. If that's your opinion, that's your opinion. Probably that's perfectly fine. If you think the Clippers are winning the finals, I can't wait to see it. It would be great for Kawhi's legacy. It would help him out. It would be massive for James Harden's legacy if they win a ring. But I don't see it happening because you got to go through OKC. You got to go through Minnesota. And you got to go through a bunch of different stuff. James Harden, the Clippers winning first chip. I hope for the sake of the Clippers that happens. But, buddy, I don't think it's going to happen. A lot of things got to fall in place. And I think matchup-wise, you guys, one, don't want to see the Lakers. And matchup two, I don't think you guys want to see OKC or really anybody else. I think you guys can take down the Rockets. If you guys play the Rockets in the first round, I think you could upset the Rockets without a doubt. But depends on where you guys do in the play-in, or if you're in the play-in or not, whatever the case is. So you can't know until down the road. And you guys will know my playoff picks for the first round and the play-in as the season ends. But right now, it is ramping up. The bottom seeds are going between a couple games. I mean, it's ridiculous. The Lakers winning yesterday, Rockets beating the Warriors, and the Nuggets losing to the Pacers helped out the Lakers. They're in the third spot, and then it's Nuggets, Warriors. So again, this is going to come down to the wire. I think there's 5 games left now, 4 games left. So it is really going to be tough down the line. Oh, we got to play OKC. Then I think we play the Hornets and then 2 other teams. So it's going to be tough. But again, we definitely can get the job done. And last but not least, guys, I'm just going to say it. Please do not sleep on the Lakers, man. Do not sleep on that because they're going to give you a surprise come playoff time. Clippers beat OKC 2 weeks ago, question mark. That's cool. I am not so sure about that. If that's correct, then that's correct. Cool. I also want to ask, were they fully healthy? Was OKC fully healthy? Because I know a couple players missed some time about 2 weeks ago. Not so sure. Fact check me, but I believe they were missing a key part of their offense. If I'm not wrong, then great. It's a great win. Again, everybody's got to lose a game or two. You might catch them on the thing. But the way that the Lakers just kicked the ass of OKC is something that no team has done this year, especially at home. No team, West or East, has kicked the ass out of OKC like we did last night. It was pretty remarkable. So yeah, other than that, guys, the final thing I'm going to discuss on our podcast is a very quick segment, and it's about Alex Ovechkin, the NHL's leading goal scorer ever in a season with 895. He got that last night against the Islanders. Fortunately, they lost the game in New York, But he's coming back home, and it's going to be a pretty sight to see the invasion from the home crowd. Now has passed Wayne Gretzky. To me, still the best player to ever play in NHL. Again, the remarkable thing, very similar to the Kareem record and the LeBron thing. I'd have to agree. I saw this on First Take. Even though Shannon Sharp decided to say that LeBron's record was the greatest or better, whatever the case, whatever terminology you want to have, and say, but I really think that Alex Ovechkin needs to deserve the credit, even though LeBron has played for 22 years, 22 seasons, over 40,000 points, has been remarkable. But for 20 seasons, Alex Ovechkin has missed only 35 games and has scored 895 goals. It is absolutely remarkable to be able to do that. And the body, the turmoil on your body that you have to go through day in and day out in the NHL hockey game is pretty ridiculous. So I definitely think that Ovechkin has got to get the nod for the hardest record breaking and the most impressive, I would say. Because, again, LeBron has been through a lot throughout his time in his career, but to be on the ice, to be hit like that, to be smacked around, to be popped in the mouth, to be in fights and all this other crap, you got to give it to him when it comes to the probably the hardest record to get, which was Alex Ovechkin passing Wayne Gretzky of 895 goals. I think it was pretty remarkable to see. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for Recap Monday. Again, guys, sorry for the interruption. Bunch of stuff doing the podcast at a different site right now. But I appreciate all the support out there. If you guys are new, don't forget to drop a follow, a like, and share. Again, our shows are going to be Mondays and Fridays now, no more Wednesdays. So stay tuned. Catch you guys later. Have a great rest of your Monday, and we'll see you guys on Friday. Peace.